Hi, good morning. I'm Linda and welcome to my video all about making eggs. Today we're going to learn how to cook soft-boiled eggs, hard-boiled eggs, how to turn the hard-boiled eggs into egg salad for a sandwich, how to fry eggs, cook them sunny side up, over easy, over medium, even how to make them for a egg sandwich like you get maybe at McDonald's or Tim Hortons, and also scrambled eggs. So really beginner, simple stuff, and I'm going to walk you through it. Now, I had a lot of problems making this video, and I mean a lot. Camera shut off at awkward times. I had to re-record things. Basically everything that could go wrong did go wrong. So I appreciate some leniency as you're watching this. The information is all there, but in some cases it's not as good as I would like it to be. However, I went through so many eggs making this video that I did not have the heart to repeat it again. So if you will just watch it and take it for what it's worth, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much and enjoy the video. So for fried eggs, you need a frying pan, and make sure that your pan goes on the right size burner. So this, you can tell that my pan is covering my burner and it's not too big for it, but I don't have a lot of extra burner over the side, and that's kind of where you want to be at. To turn your burner on, you never, for frying something, you never want it to be on high. So I put mine on medium high, which in my stove is 7. 6 or 7 is where you want to be at, depending on what your numbers go up to, but somewhere around medium high. And as that warms up, you're going to want to add a little bit of oil. Now your pan may be non-stick, mine is non-stick, but I always add a little bit of oil because it makes the eggs so much easier to flip. You don't have to, but if you're going for ease, that's what I like to do. Sometimes it's hard not to pour too much oil, so you might like to put it in a spoon first, but you really don't need a lot. You're just looking to basically, as soon as the oil heats up, it will spread easily, and then we'll coat the pan with it. We're going to make 2 different types of fried eggs. One is called sunny side up, and the other one is over easy. I'm also going to show you how to make a fried egg for a fried egg sandwich. If you like the kind of sandwiches that you get at McDonald's, they're very easy to make. All you need to do is buy English muffins, or just use your bread, have some cheese handy, processed cheese, any kind of cheese, and you're good to go. So this oil will have started to heat up. Now I'm going to spread it around in my pan. And you can see that the pan now is mostly coated with oil. What I'm going to do for cracking my egg is, you can do it on the counter or the side of your pan. And so I just do it so there is a crack there, and then I'm going to open it close to my frying pan because I don't want the yolk to break while I'm dumping it in. Now if it does break, that's actually okay if you're making a fried egg sandwich, because you want the yolk broken then. There we go. I'm going to do it close. Now as you can see, I've got a little bit of shell there. I'm just going to go ahead and take that out, and these will start cooking. Now, personally, I like a fried egg on toast, so I just went and put a piece of toast in my toaster and put that down, so that's the right time for that. So if you go into a restaurant and they ask you, how do you want your eggs done? Sometimes it's a little confusing if you're not sure of the terminology. Sunny side up means the egg is not going to be flipped over. It's going to be cooked as it is. Now, the white of the egg doesn't cook easily like this. So if you want your egg sunny side up, what you're going to need to do is either put a lid over your pan, or I don't have an appropriate lid, so I use a baking sheet. And what the baking sheet's going to do is keep the heat in the pan, and the heat's going to cook the top of the egg for me so that the egg will be cooked but still soft, and that's going to make a sunny side up egg. So I'm going to actually flip one of my eggs, and the other one I'm going to do sunny side up. If you're cooking a fried egg for an egg sandwich, this is where you're going to want to burst your yolk and flip it over, because you want your yolk hard in an egg sandwich. Otherwise it's going to drip all over you. And a bit more shell here. Okay, so we're going to separate these. Okay, I'm not sure why, but for some reason the video of the egg cooking didn't work out, so I'm just inserting this little video on how long to let your fried egg cook for before you turn it over. And you can see that the egg is starting to lose some of its transparency, but it's still pretty liquidy looking around the yolk, so it's not quite ready to flip yet. That's one of the biggest mistakes in flipping, is flipping too soon. So we're just going to wait a little bit longer till the white is a little bit thicker around. Now, this is bubbling a lot, and that usually means that the temperature is too high. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my temperature down just a little bit. Okay, so the white around the yolk is starting to get a little bit whiter, starting to thicken up a little bit. That's a good sign that the egg is almost ready to flip. That took around 3 minutes or so. If you're someone that likes to know how long to wait, you can set your timer for around 3 minutes and check then. What you don't want is brown all around your edges here, because that means the egg has started to burn a little bit on the other side. So this is just about the right time to flip. And what I like to do is use my flipper and put it all around just to make sure that the egg has completely detached from the frying pan. And then I'm going to just slide this under and just give it a really gentle flip, just like that. And that way you've got your egg flipped, and it can cook for maybe another minute or two on this side, and the yolk didn't break, which is what we were going for. So for my sunny side up egg, I'm going to put this on top and let that cook while my other one cooks, and it's going to be over easy. If you cook it a little bit longer, it will be over medium, and that means the yolk is still a little bit runny but not quite hard. Or you can do it over hard, which basically means you're going to burst the yolk, and the yolk will harden up, good for sandwiches. In the meantime, my toast has popped. I'm going to butter it and then put my fried egg on top. And it sounds actually like my, see, those are probably done. Much more than that is going to get burned, so I'm actually going to turn off my burner, and I can take this off the burner if I think it's going to cook too much, or just leave it on there. Okay, I've got my toast cooked. I'm going to put my over easy egg right on top of that, and my sunny side up egg beside it. This is done. You can see that it's not very transparent on the top. That yolk looks like it's still a little bit runny, so if you like sunny side up, this is how you want it done. Again, if you're really gentle with the flipper, you probably won't break your eggs, and unless you're making an egg sandwich or you like your eggs over hard, it's better not to break them. So for an egg sandwich, you do your egg broken, flip it, toast your English muffin. You might like butter on your English muffin or not, and throw on your egg and a slice of cheese. It'll be delicious. Now we're going to make scrambled eggs, and I have to tell you there are about 1,000 different ways to make scrambled eggs. So I'm going to show you how I make them and give you a little bit of an option as to some things you can do so that you like the scrambled eggs done your way. Before you get started, the first thing you want to do is put a frying pan on your stove top onto about medium high, which on my stove top is a 6 or a 7. You never ever want to cook something that you're frying on high heat. I also put a little bit of oil in my frying pan because otherwise I find that even if it's a non-stick pan, the egg seems to stick all to it and it's a bit more of a difficult cleanup. I like things that are easy, so I just put a little bit of oil in my pan while it's heating up. And once it's heated up, I tilt the pan all over to kind of spread the oil around. You can use however many eggs you want for scrambled eggs. Typically for one person, you're going to use 1 or 2. So the first thing you're going to do is break your egg. I'm just using 1 here. Into your measuring cup, any kind of a cup will do. Now, this is where people have different variations. A lot of people will add a little bit of milk, maybe around a tablespoon for each egg. You can do that if you want. I actually like to add a little bit of maple syrup because I find it gives a really great flavor. Maybe around a teaspoon of syrup. Another option is cheese, which I'll show you in a minute. But I'm just going to take a fork and burst the yolk and mix it really well. You can see that's really well mixed together there. At this point, if you want, you could add a little bit of grated cheese to the scrambled egg. That also makes it taste delicious. So this is ready to go in the frying pan now, so let's move over there. So for scrambled eggs, you're just going to start stirring this all around. That's all you're doing. Say you wanted to make an egg wrap, kind of like they have at Tim Hortons, Farmer's Wrap, or like they used to. You wouldn't stir your egg all around then. You would let it cook in a big puddle, and then when it seemed like it was pretty well together, you would flip it over. But for scrambled eggs, all you do is you keep stirring them around as they cook, and you'll know that they're ready when they start to lose their wet look. You don't need to cook them for too long, but you can see this is the amount of scrambled egg that 1 egg makes, so you can judge for yourself how many you want. Tastes great with some ketchup maybe, or a little bit of cheese sprinkled on top. Okay, here's my pot. It's a small one. You don't need too big of a pot for soft-boiled eggs or hard-boiled. And I filled it with cold water, just about 2/3 up the pot. And I've put my eggs in. You want to choose the right size burner for the right size pot, a burner that is not too big. On my stove top, my burner only heats up the part that is under my element. So I can use any size burner. So for convenience and for easy filming, I'm just using this size. So once you put your eggs, either for hard-boiled or soft-boiled, into the cold water, which helps prevent cracking, you're going to go ahead and turn that burner on to high. And it'll take anywhere from 2 to 5 or 6 minutes to heat your water up to a full boil. where it's got a good bubble on. Once your water is heated up that high, then you want to turn your burner down to low, maybe around 3 on your element. And for soft boiled eggs, you set the timer for 3.5 minutes. For hard boiled, you leave it in longer after your soft boiled egg is done. It's going to be maybe about 7 minutes still in the pot after that. Okay, you can see that the pot is boiling now quite vigorously, so I'm going to turn my element down to 3 or low, and that way it keeps a soft boil going. Okay, it's been 3.5 minutes, and so I'm going to take out one of my eggs, and I want it to stop cooking, so I'm going to go ahead and run it under some cold water for about 10 or 15 seconds. The second egg I'm going to leave in there for another 7 minutes so that it will be hard boiled, but I'm going to turn my burner off because the hot water will be enough to keep cooking it. Okay, so here we have the finished eggs, soft boiled, and we're going to cut them open to see if the 3.5 minutes that I guesstimated for my stovetop was right. And like I said, you probably have some trial and error on that. Now, I do have egg cups that I use, but what I discovered when I was at a place where they didn't have egg cups is if you use a Keurig, if you empty out one of the pods and clean it, it actually is the perfect size for a boiled egg, so you can use that. And I put the fat side of the egg down. Now for cutting the egg open, I just take a knife, cut it about 1/3 of the way down, give it a good thwack, and then saw. Oh boy, okay, that's just about right. It's dripping. Let's put a little bit of that on the toast there. Excellent. So I actually another time would maybe want to cook this one a little bit longer, because see how there is a transparent part there. I would really want to see that the white of the egg is more thoroughly cooked, so I might give it 4.5 minutes next time on my stove, and it will take a few times for you to get it exactly right. And when you do, make note of the time so that you can make the perfect soft-boiled eggs in the future. A lot of people like to cut their toast into strips and dip them into the yolk. In England, they call this soldiers, and that is really tasty. Now, this is how to make an egg sandwich. You need to hard boil your egg first, and that means put it in a pot of cold water, bring it to boiling point, and then you need to cook it for a good 10 minutes. You can actually even just turn the pot off once it's come to a boil and cook it for 10 minutes. Or if you're adding it to your soft-boiled eggs, just leave it in for about 7 minutes longer after you're taking your soft-boiled eggs out. So your hard-boiled egg, it's good to maybe put it in some cold water to cool it off for a little while, and then you're going to crack it and peel the shell off. For an egg sandwich, you're going to want 1 or 2 hard-boiled eggs. There we go, not too difficult to peel. And now you're just going to put it in a bowl and use a fork to mash it up. Once you've got it fairly well mashed up, there are a lot of different things you can add to it. And if you know someone who makes great egg salad, then you just ask them what they add to their egg salad, and then you'll know how to make it. Very basically, you can add a little bit of mayo. If you want to measure it, I'm going to say 1 or 2 teaspoons, and some salt and pepper. And that's going to be your most basic recipe. You could also add some tiny chopped up celery. You could add a little bit of mustard. Some people like that taste. Mix this really well together, and then you can either go ahead and make your sandwich right then, or cover this up and put it in the fridge till you're ready to make your sandwiches. And that's basically it. That is how you make egg salad for sandwiches. That's your very basic recipe, but feel free to add a little bit to it depending on your taste. Hey, thanks for watching my egg video. I hope you learned something, and I hope you overlooked the mistakes that were made along the way. Let me tell you, they happen to every single person who works in the kitchen, no matter how long you've been there. And especially people who work in the kitchen better than they work on a camera. So thank you very much for watching. Maybe have another look, see if you can notice some guest appearances by my cat. And if you enjoy the videos, please feel free to subscribe and share them with your friends. Have a great day.